I think it's pretty common knowledge that we're all supposed to talk to babies, right? Everybody hears that all the time, talk to your babies. The beauty of working on language development is not just in that we want our kids to talk at an early age. If your child does not yet have language, their communication is most likely occurring in the form of whining, or pulling you toward things, or pointing, or screaming. We are going to talk about all of the ways that we can work on getting our babies to start talking. But it's not just straight talking to your baby that's going to get them to acquire language. There are secrets to the ways that we talk to our babies in order to get them to start talking themselves. One thing that I hear all the time is that we just talk to our baby like they're a normal human. Okay, that's great. It's great to flood language in your baby's ears so that they're constantly hearing the way that your language sounds. Their brains start to understand the phonemes of the language that they hear frequently, but you can't just flood them with language all of the time and expect that they're going to start picking up how to talk. When we speak to our babies, we want to speak in a very simple way, but not use baby talk. So baby talk is like made up words that sound babyish. So if your child drinks milk out of a bottle, maybe you say baba. That's a baby talk. And the reason you want to avoid baby talk with your babies is because every word that you're making is something you're modeling to your baby the proper word for the item. So you want them to hear the right words being associated with the things that they're interacting with. So you want to use just the normal words, and you want to talk to them all the time. And there's two different ways that we can do this. One is by just labeling the things that your baby is interacting with. Close. Done. Done. Giraffe. Where does the giraffe go? Hippo. Hippo. Crocodile. Whoa, crocodile. Rhino. Rhino. You can start to label the things that he is seeing. This is a white shirt. Shirt. Blue. There's a blue stripe. Blue. White. Shirt. You can repeat it over and over again. And that's okay. That repetition, your baby is forming the connection between that word and the item that they're looking at. As he explores around the house, you can also start to call it out. He picks up something. You may say ball, blue ball, ball, ba. You can even isolate some of the sounds of the word, the starting sound, and make that sound for your baby so that they can hear that sound in isolation. And if your baby is at the right developmental stage, they might actually start making that sound along with you. This is different from narrating what your child is doing with a string of words altogether. So if my baby is playing on the floor and picks up a ball, I will say, ball, you have the ball. That's a blue ball. Ball, ba. What I will not say is, wow, look at that ball rolling across the floor. The ball is flying high in the sky. It's turning around. It's going to crash into the wall. We call this the Charlie Brown syndrome. If you recall the Charlie Brown cartoon, anytime that a grown-up is speaking in that cartoon, what the kids hear is a trumpeting sound, wah, 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 wah. And that's what our babies are going to hear also if we're stringing a ton of words together. They don't understand the words yet, and so they're all going to be jumbled together in a string of noise, and they're not going to actually pick out that ball word that we want them to hear. The ball word is going to just get absorbed into that whole sentence of words, and they're going to miss it. So leave the narration for an older developmental stage and keep it really simple for your baby, and repeat every time that they're engaging with something. The second way that we can work on language development with our baby is by asking them to give us sounds and words before they get something that they want. So you can actually do this in a variety of different ways, but one way would say, get something that your baby really loves, let's say bubbles, and you go outside and you sit on the front porch, and then you try to get your child to make that buh sound before you blow the bubbles for him. So there's motivation built up to use language, because when language is used, your baby's gonna get what he wants, which is seeing the bubbles being blown. So you can even build up motivation by like holding it up, but not quite blowing yet, and then giving your baby the sound to make bubbles, bubbles. The minute that your child utters even anything close to the bus sound, go ahead and blow the bubbles, and then pair your language with the actual bubbles that you're blowing. So you'd blow and say, mommy's blowing bubbles, bubbles as he's looking around. So that leads us back into the labeling. You can combine these where you're actually you're requiring a sound or a word to get what your child wants, but then you're also engaging in that labeling for your child as they're experiencing the item. You can do it during mealtime when your baby is sitting in the high chair.
Open. Open.
Open.
Open. Good boy. Open. Open. Open.
Open.
Very good. Cheese. Good boy.
Okay, so we have our food. I'm not going to say the word because I want to actually introduce it for the first time when I'm doing training. So I don't give him the full plate. I form a bite. Chicken.
Chicken.
Huh?
And
Chicken.
Chicken.
Huh? Chicken. Chicken. Listen. I know you did it. All right, ready? Ready? Chicken. Chicken. So you'll notice I say huh a lot or what to try to get him to repeat one more time. The first time that he says it, he's saying it prompted because I'm actually saying it first. So I didn't fade my prompt that time. I tried, but he was obviously super hungry and motivated, and I didn't want to make it more difficult. So I'm going to try to fade it across the successive tries. Chicken.
Chicken. Coffee.
Chicken.
Chicken.
Huh?
Chicken.
Chicken. Chicken with ketchup.
Coffee. Coffee. Chicken.
Huh?
Chicken.
Chicken. I gave him the ch sound and he said chicken. So I'm gradually getting to fade back how much I need to prompt him.
Chicken.
Chicken! And that's our first independent chicken. Good job, bud. I know that it sounds silly and it looks incredibly repetitive, but this constant exposure to the sounds and the words is going to help your child better be able to form those sounds and words in the future.
Look what Mommy has.
No, no, no. Out here.
Truck.
Truck.
Truck. Zoom.
Pocket.
Donkey. Donkey. Donkey.
Do it.
Oh, look at that door.
Truck.
Truck. Fire truck. They need to be able to see an exaggerated formation of the sound because they're trying to figure out how to get their brain to send the signals to their mouth to make that same shape and sound.
No.
Fire truck. Look. Fire
Fire
truck.
truck.
Fire truck.
Fire truck.
Whoa, fire truck! So if you are mumbling or you're turning away from your baby and saying milk, milk, they can't see what they're supposed to be doing. They can hear it, but then they're left guessing what they're supposed to be doing with their mouth. So look directly at them, very exaggerated with your mouth movements. Helicopter. Helicopter. Woo, helicopter. You are going to see an eventual increase in spontaneous vocalizations, meaning just walking around the house making sounds, but you're also going to see an increase in you asking your child to make a sound and your child producing that same sound. As your children gain meaningful communication, you are going to see a decrease in their tantruming. You're going to see a decrease in their whining because you actually understand what it is that they want and you can give them what they want. So they're going to be happier, you're going to be happier, and you're going to be better on your way to a talking child.